Welcome back to another episode of Barstools and Billboards podcast. I'm your host, Moody, and with me is country music singer Robby Johnson. Hey, Robby, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you, Moody?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. Well,
Thanks for having me on the show, man.
yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I
Yep,
mean, I'm looking forward to it.
good. So am I, man. So if you want to go ahead, let's go back to where it all started from the very beginning and what made you fall in love with country music, and we'll go from there.
All right. So, I mean, for me, I'm a late bloomer. I didn't, start at a very young age, going to a concert of George Strait or Alan Jackson and saying, "Oh, this is what I want to do when I grow up." It was never that. But I was listening to country music and also every other genre of music that was playing on either on the radio, on TV, and movies and everything. So I'm influenced by many genres of music. And I'm a very creative guy. So as soon as I hear a pattern, notes or lyrics or something, my brain listens to it and analyzes it. So I'm influenced by pretty much everything. Even what's coming out today, the newer stuff has an impact on me. But I would say what brought me to country music, because like I said, younger, I would listen to country music, and I rediscovered it. One time I was with my cousin in Hartford, Connecticut, and he was listening to music. And he was like, "Hey, have you heard this guy?" And he gives me his little, headphone, and I start listening. I'm like, "Oh my God, wow!" And that singer, he was talking directly to me. I was the most important person in the world to that singer, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is really good." And it was Garth Brooks because he has that way and I had a lesson with a vocal coach that worked with Garth, but not very long because he just exploded so quick. Well, not that quick, but after he, did a few lessons, he just took off and went on the road and he was gone. But he had this approach of, okay, I'm going to do this song. How can I sing it so that it will change, people's lives? That's his main goal when he sings. Even when he's singing live, he wants to change people's lives. He wants to affect them in a positive way. And I felt that. And I just fell in love and started singing a whole lot of country music and listening to more and more country music. And like you said, I'm from Canada, but most of my relatives live in Hartford, Connecticut. That's where I spent my youth, really. The summers was in Hartford. That's where I learned English because French is my first language.
Right.
And that's where I learned English, fell in love with the culture, and I kept listening to everything American coming, the music coming from the US, also the UK, but, the movies in English, everything. I would just consume it and loved it. And yeah, so that's really, how it started for me was really, the Garth Brooks and just singing a whole lot of country music. But still, I was a sales rep on the road. I had a totally different life in Canada. But every time I would, go in the States for vacation, I would go on the main border. First thing you do when you cross the border, you just turn on country radio and you listen to country radio because in Quebec, yes, we do have country radio, but they're playing more of the French Western, very old sounding country, French country music, which is more, it's really, it's kind of dated kind of thing. And I wasn't really into that, but American country music, yes, totally. And so I was listening to it. I was writing I'm a very creative guy. So I would write songs, sales rep on the road, selling industrial products, listening to radio, never thinking that one day I could possibly, play on the radio or be on the radio, an interview or anything. Never thought of that. But I would write songs and sing. And my girlfriend, now wife, was like, there's something with your voice. I mean, your songs and all that, they're good. You should do something. I was like, oh, no, I'm not a singer. I'm not an artist. Sales rep on the road, take care of the house, the swimming pool, the lawn, you know. And what she did is she bought me. Christmas gift, which, and she passed the hat in the family because it's kind of expensive. And she gave me this demo session in a studio to cut one of my songs. And I thought it was the worst Christmas gift ever. I was like, oh, wow, what a great gift.
Right.
Because I didn't see myself as a singer, an artist, and I just went in the studio not to cut a hit song, It was just let's be done with this and have fun at the same time. So I decided to do one of my feel good country rock song titled "I'll Be There Rockin' and Rollin'." And so we get in the studio. My father-in-law's with me. I'm like, okay, let's have a good time here. And I start singing, and the guys are like, oh, wow, Robby, this is good. This sounds like Nashville. You should go to Nashville. I was like, nah, come on, guys, let's just be done with this. And but after that day in the studio with the song, listening back, I was like, oh my God, there's something here. And it's funny because in my life, every time I say I'm never gonna do this, I always end up doing it. And I think it's because deep down inside, I know what's coming. I know it's going to happen, but I'm scared, I'm afraid, and I don't want to face it. So I say, I'm never going to do this, but I always end up doing it. And that's the case for this, where I was like, no, I'm never going to do this. And here I am, a couple years later, still doing it.
Right. What was it like the first time, like whenever you went to Nashville and you cut one of your songs that you got released to the radio? What was it like the first time hearing yourself on the radio?
That's pretty unbelievable. It's pretty insane because like I said, I was totally green. I had no idea how it all worked. And, singing in a studio, hearing my voice coming back at me through headphones. And it's a weird feeling when you've never done it. You got to get used to it. And it's with time and practice and everything. So everything was new and it was kind of overwhelming. And I came to Nashville with the attitude of, hey, I'm not here to show anybody anything. I'm here to learn, and I just want to have fun doing it. And if you want to help me, fine. And I'm grateful. I'm thankful for all the help I can get. And I'm a family guy, and they just took me under their wing. Jimmy Nichols, Frank Myers, who was I got hooked up with Jimmy through Tom Roach, who used to work for the Osmonds, and he presented me to Jimmy, and I started coming back and forth to Nashville, and just working on that because I cut a few songs in Canada, but nothing happened with those songs. I put it on YouTube and everything, and got traction. That's what got me. Tom Roach being in it, and many producers reaching out to me, and Tom Roach saying, "Hey, you should go to Nashville, and I have a good connection there. Guy I want you to meet, Jimmy Nichols." And that's really how it started. And with Jimmy and Frank, we worked on the first project that had the song "Sap of Me" on it. And I released the song. I send it to radio, and because I had a few contacts by then in the industry, and they were like, "Why are you sending it to radio? You don't have a promoter." I was like, "Oh, we can find that later." I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, so I find a promoter. I end up hiring two promotion teams because I committed to one. I was waiting on an answer from one, and the answer wasn't coming. So I committed with another, and then the answer come for the first one. So like, oh well, I got to I'll just keep both. And so they started, pushing on the song, pushing the song to radio, secondary, tertiary markets. Music Row breakout chart, and it was doing pretty good. And also, I shot a music video in Jamaica and with Brian Smith. I mean, the guy is an insane director. I mean, he's directed Jason Aldean videos, Avril Lavigne, Eminem. I mean, the guy's really talented. And so we shot this beautiful music video in Jamaica and put it on YouTube, and it started going viral. So it's really crazy how everything happened so quick, and the songs started to climb on radio. Then I get a publicist, Elaine Schock, who's in LA. She is the publicist for Willie, was a publicist for Toby Keith and all that. And the first ever press release that she sent that I sent as an artist. The Late Show, David Letterman wanted me on for that single, South of Me. So pretty crazy the steps. I mean, I was totally new and I was just going up these huge steps. And without the experience, it was really crazy. But being a sales rep on the road, the sky's the limit. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Right. It's, it must have felt pretty awesome whenever that song took off and it started to peak on the charts and stuff like that. I couldn't imagine how it felt to you to see something that
Well,
you had and that now it's done exploded way up to here and it's still going today.
yeah, it's crazy, and it's like I said, it's kind of unbelievable, and the feeling when you hear it on the radio. It's like, oh my God, that's is that me? Is that really me? This
Right.
kind of feeling. It's really weird, and just to have people come up to you when you do a live show and tell you how much the song has impacted their lives. That's the reason we do it, but it's still very special. It's like, oh, really? It really does, people really do relate to the song and they really love it and they listen to it. It's like, oh my God, this is cool. This is really cool.
So you just did a cover on an ACDC song, which was "You Shook
Yes.
Me All Night Long," and it was
Yes.
for the 45th anniversary.
Well, it happened. The thing is, I'm releasing an album on 24th, October 24th, and I wanted to put a cover on the album.
Mhm.
And the theme of the album with all the songs is Hot Summer Nights. And I was looking for a cover. I was going through playlists and doing research, Google and good cover song, blah, 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 and trying to find that. And I couldn't find a song. And then I was like, wait a minute. There is a song I do live, which always get a huge reaction because people at a country concert, they're not expecting, you shook me all night long from AC/DC. So
Right.
it's like, wow, I do it live. I know the song. Let's just do this one. And then it's my publicist Scott who's like, hey, it's their 45th anniversary too. I was like, oh, wow, great. I mean, that's awesome. And with my producer Danny Rader, um, amazing, talented guy, fun guy to be around, so nice. I've been working with him on all my recent projects, and we were like, this song is a classic. It's a staple. It's a rock staple. It's the song by which they want to be remembered. So that's
Right.
how big the song is for them and for people around the world. So we were like, and it was produced by Mutt Lang. So he knows what he's doing. You
Right.
don't want to mess around with that and try to reinvent something that's already, perfect. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the approach we had for the cover. And so we kept most of the DNA of the song, the heart and soul of the song, electric guitars, the way the vocals are done, and also, the drum pattern, really important. I mean, they got it so right. And I don't take any credit for this cover. We really followed their creation, their lead, and just added a country flavor to it with the fiddle from Janae Fleener and also Chris McHugh on the drums. He replicated the drum pattern and stayed very faithful to the original. And Danny just added B3, some piano, country harmonies, and that's it. And it's funny because I had at the beginning when people heard the song and all that, uh, some comments was like, well, usually when you do a cover, if you're a male artist, you're going to want to do a song that was done by a female artist so that people don't compare you
Right.
and with the original, and you have to make it your own and make it different and all that. And I was like, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about people enjoying having a blast listening to the song. It's about the song and how people react to what it is. And what it is, it's that electric guitar riff. I know it, because the live show, as soon as that riff starts, people's eyes, first, they're not expecting that song. and their eyes just open wide, and their arms go up, they can't control it. They just go crazy, and the energy in the room just goes up a couple notch. And yeah, it's about the song, how people react to it, and it has nothing to do with me. I don't care if people say, "Oh, you copied," and it's almost exactly the same song. It's like, I don't care. It's not about me. It's about the song and people enjoying the song.
Right. But you mentioned that you have a album to come out soon,
Yeah.
just a minute ago, which kind of brings up one of the topics that I was going to talk to you about is, your future plans. What do you have in your crosshairs right now? You just mentioned the album. What else is there to
Yeah.
look forward
So
to?
I started working, yeah, the album Hot Summer Nights has a song 13 is You Shook Me All Night Long. I mean, there's no better song to end this the album, and a bunch of songs that I previously released, unreleased music. And I started working with an agent and to secure dates for 2026 and maybe a few in 2025, but concentrating on 2026 to get out there and just create those memorable moments with the crowds, man. It's the best feeling in the world. Being in a studio, that's really cool. It's really magical. You never know what's going to happen. It's always, there anything can happen kind of thing. So it's really cool to create it and see it take form. But doing it live with the crowd, because we put out a show, and people need to understand, when you're at a concert, yes, the singer, the band, they're putting out a show, they're performing, but on our side, you guys are performing as well. You're part of the show. Your performance is as important as, the performance of the band. It's something that needs to click and happen together. And it's really, you're part of it. You're not just witnessing a concert, you're really a part of it. You're performing at that concert. Because if everybody's shy and nobody is screaming, nobody is getting up because they don't know, and what will I be judged or something, it's not a good show. And when you just get into it, then it's contagious. If you get up and you start screaming, the people around you will get up, and they'll start screaming. If you're clapping, if you're singing along, then people are going to start singing. So it's really, you guys are performing as intensely as the artist on stage.
So, with that being said, like about shows and stuff like that, is there any like big, shows that you have upcoming in towards the
Well,
end of this year or
yeah, I'm sorry.
2026?
We just started working on this, so I have nothing concrete for now, but
Okay.
just started working on it yesterday. So things are gonna, align. And as soon as I have something to tell people, of course, it's gonna be social media, Robby Johnson Music. That's my handle for social media, or it's gonna be on my website, robby-johnson.com.
I got you. So, to all the viewers and stuff, y'all just keep an eye out for all that. But Robbie, what is one of your biggest accomplishments that you would say for yourself?
It's really the live show. It's really the live show. Being in the moment at a live show is the greatest thing, and it gives you the biggest high. Yes, I walked the red carpet, the CMA Awards. That was pretty cool. Doing the Late Show with David Letterman, that was pretty cool, and all that. Singing with Keith Urban twice, opening for him in front of 35,000 people
Oh wow.
and some screaming my name, which was pretty unbelievable. But I mean, being in the moment in a live show, nothing beats that. That's the best feeling.
I got you. Man, you just mentioned, you played with Keith Urban in front of 35,000. What was that like? I bet that was such an
Oh, well,
adrenaline
I
rush.
opened for Keith, and he had 80,000 people when he started. I was an opener, but still, it was like a record for an opener for that festival when I did it, and there was 35,000 people. I think it was around 6 p.m. or something. I don't remember the exact time. It was still lighted outside. There was sun, sun was out and everything, and 35,000 people, and screaming my name before I got on stage. It's pretty incredible. and did a 45-minute set, full band. It was so cool, so cool. And then later on, having met with Keith and all that, I just he was, coming around doing his Ripcord World Tour. And I don't know, management or something, they reached out and he was like, hey, I'll have you as a guest artist, surprise guest artist on two shows. So he would just call me up on stage it's an arena show. So it was a packed arena and two nights in a row. And I just get up there and sing with him. You Gonna Fly. It was pretty awesome.
All right. And of all the artists that you've got to meet throughout your time doing it and stuff, is there something that one of the artists have said to you backstage that may have just stuck with you for a long time that helped you out a little bit?
I guess. Well, I met with Garth at the 50th CMA Awards, and he just told me, hang in there, don't quit, because that's how you're gonna make it, is if you don't quit and keep on going, and make sure your family, everybody's, and there's a balance in your family life and music, but just hang in there, buddy.
I
That
got
was a good, yeah, because I mean that's the thing. It's hard because it's so easy to quit and make mistakes and get with the wrong people. It's really easy to make the wrong decisions. And I've made a few bad decisions myself throughout my career, and it's really easy to mess it up. And so you got to hang in there and learn the hard way. The advice I would tell people is that, you know, I keep saying, what will I learn tomorrow that would be really useful right now, today? So you got to stay open that you don't know everything. You're going to learn along the way. You're going to make mistakes, and it's all part of the process.
I got you. And I know you kind of just went over a little bit, but I was going to ask you if there's any advice that you'd like to give out to somebody that's looking at getting into country music, wanting to be independent, or
Yeah.
wanting to eventually sign a record.
Be you. Don't try to be someone that's already out there. Yes, you're influenced by the music and all that. Take your influences, mash them up together, find your own sound, what really vibrates with you, because people are going to hear it. If it's
Mhm.
true, if it's authentic, and they're going to dig it. If you try and manufacture something, listening to radio and say, oh, it needs to sound like this. Oh, I need to sing like this, or it's not going to work. You're just going to be, we already have a Morgan Wallen, and there's no point in
Right.
trying to be another Morgan Wallen, another Luke Combs, another Zach Top. And you got to be original. And if you really do the music that you love and what makes you you know feel what you want to feel, people are going to get it. And that's the best advice I can give.
I agree with the BU part, and like you said,
Oh
we've
yeah,
already got a
totally.
Morgan Wallen and stuff because
Yeah.
in my opinion, there's more and more mimickers now that's trying to sound like somebody like Zach Bryan, for instance. He's got that
Oh yeah.
raspiness, which at the time was unique because he was
Yeah.
really the only one at the time whenever he started. Now everybody else wants to kind of match
Yeah.
that tone and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, but I mean, that it's a testament to how good his music is and what
right,
he found, so people just want to replicate it because it's so good.
right,
And but yeah, it's always better if you're the first to do it.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
completely agree. Man, if you feel up to it, one of the things that I like to do with my guests, if you feel up to it, I like my guests to, towards the end of it, to sing at least a song or something. If you feel up to it, it's a song
Well,
that you
I
feel.
it's the thing is, I have a 9 p.m. and it's 9:07. I have another interview. I'm so sorry. I
No,
am
you're
so
good,
sorry.
man.
I really don't
No,
have
you're
the
good.
time. I'm really sorry, man. I'm sorry, Moody.
Don't
I'm
worry
I'm
about it.
sorry. Next time,
Next
I'll
time.
I'll know and we'll make time for it.
Hey, I'll
I'll
catch you in
tell
Nashville.
Scott we
I'll
need
catch
more
you in
time,
Nashville.
Scott.
I'll catch you in Nashville, though.
All
Man, I
right.
appreciate you coming out onto the show tonight. And I hope you enjoyed your time on it.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. Enjoyed
Well,
it.
great.
Thank you so much, Moody. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you joining us tonight, Robby. Just I'll keep an eye out for that new album, and I'll definitely give it a listen. And I'll have all that stuff linked below.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody who's watching, who's taking the music and sharing it and requesting it and all that. You guys make it happen. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. Have a good one.